Hello everybody, Snowymatrix here, following the Highland cow at the start of the Cape Wrath Trail. These cows are a lot faster than they look. So this was the first night's wild camp by the river. So this is my route today. Started off at the Glen Nevis campsite, walked along the road all the way into Fort William, then took the ferry across, the passenger ferry across to Carmouth-Sagul. Then we've walked along a road here for about 3-4 miles. Then the road branches down that way and you take a 4-wheel drive track all the way up here. Beautiful country here, easy walking, and we're currently camped here. It's a nice little flat bit of land next to the river. That's the River Connor Glen, and the River Connor that goes all the way along here, so it's really easy path to follow. From here the path gets kind of like a single track. I think it's still possible to go with a 4-wheel drive up there, but we'll be going through there, through these two hills here, about 700 meters each. So through the valley here, all the way into Glenfinnan, which is there, and then we'll be coming up to the famous viaduct that's been made famous by the Harry Potter films, which is somewhere viaduct there. So we'll see that tomorrow. Morning YouTube. This is the morning of our wild camp. Surrounded by all these mountains. Means it is midge hell out here. Not a breath of wind. Next to the Connor River. Welcome to August in Scotland on the Cape Wrath Trail. So here we are, the first river crossing on the Cape Wrath Trail. This one doesn't look too bad. So this is the end of day 2. We started from our wild camp position here, walked along here, all the way here, all the way along this path, quite boggy in parts, up into Glenfinnan, which is here, and stopped for a little bit there. Then we carried on to where the famous viaduct is, where you can see the Harry Potter train pass, the steam train. We kept on going up the road here, past the Collyhully Boffy. There's a few people in there, so we didn't want to stay there. So we continued on the Cape Wrath Trail, and then we crossed the little bridge here off the trail, and there's like a gorge here, and we're camped, wild camped, on the side of the gorge. We found like a bit of flat land. It's beautiful here now, and that's where we're going to spend the night. Tomorrow morning, back on the trail. This section here that goes along here, it's like a ridge. There's no chance. Once you start it, you got to finish it and get to Strathfan, where there's another boffy there, and then further on. Otherwise, there's nowhere to camp here. You can see the lines on the map. That's a ridge. So that's where we are. So day 3,
and we're walking towards the Bielak, which is the highest point so far on the Cape Wrath Trail. I don't know, I can't remember what that point up there is called, but here we are at the top of the pass. And there's the way ahead, through that iron gate and beyond. Very, very strange. What is this? Is this the Cape Wrath version of the Blair Witch we're entering? Look at that. Totally alone out here. There's our route ahead, following the river down into the valley. That's where we've come from. So, here we are taking a well-earned coffee break. Welcome to the start of the real Cape Wrath Trail. One slip here and you'll fall into that ravine. This is where the adventure really starts. So here we are, end of day 3. So started off this morning from our wild camping site here, climbed up towards the mountain pass here, all the way up here. Then it was a descent back down into the valley, all the way down to here. Now here was very, very boggy. I'm talking, you had to pick your route, and there were some parts that would come up to your knee and above, so you had to be really careful here to get past Stratham. And we came along here, much easier walking here, and now we are somewhere camped around here, the edge of the forest, yeah, inside the forest. Are we going to brave this rickety old bridge across the river? Here he goes, testing it out. I'll let him go first just in case. Oh, a bit unsteady there. Ah, he's over. Time for me to go. First little rant of the journey. Look at this. Why do people want to start fires in the middle of nowhere? What is the fascination with a fire? Look how they've scarred this beautiful bit of land. Just don't do it. You don't need to start fires in the wilderness. Not in the summer. Rant over. So we've just skirted the edge of the forest there, up towards the pass. Here's the path. Looks like we're heading towards a brick wall of mountains, but there is a pass through that little gap over there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That's where we're going. Oh, another stream to cross. These are everywhere on the Cape Wrath Trail. Here we are at the top of the pass. There's our route, skirting the side and then back down.
there's a couple of German guys. I don't know if you can see them on this, but they're further ahead. They're setting a blistering pace, which we're not trying to match, but we did finish higher up the trail than them yesterday, so the tortoise always beats the hare. I don't know if you can see down there, but the Germans are taking the wrong path. That's the second mistake they've made today. They came back down the wrong path before when we were having our coffee break, and now they're shooting off up the hill where the path is downwards down into the valley. So we are now at the junction, and you can see someone has put an X here. This is the route we were planning to take, the route we thought the Germans had got wrong, but it seems there's an X here, and the path is leading us that way, the way the Germans went. So the plot thickens. Report later what's going on. Just come through that, and it is absolutely breathtaking up there. And there's a route down. You should be seeing Loch Nevis coming into view. There it is, Loch Nevis. That's where we're heading. There's our friends walking down the trail. Here we are, coming up to the Bothy. Apparently this one, I think it's Suvi's, is one of the most picturesque ones in Britain. Look at it saying, right by Loch Nevis. Believe it or not, I've been walking in the Scottish mountains since 1995, but this is the first time I'm ever daring to set foot inside a Bothy. I've just watched too many horror films like The Evil Dead and Cabin by the Woods. So here goes. What am I going to find in here? Whoop. Holy smoly. Who's this?
Come in.
So this is a Bothy. Well, I'd rather spend the night outside in my tent. What's this up here? See what I'm talking about? Look at that. And you think I'm going to spend the night in here by myself? Loch Nevis, the tidal lock. Luckily for us, the tide is out, so we can walk along its banks, but it will come, the water will come in. You can see it will go all the way up there. Look at all the seaweed here. So better stop filming. I'll get out of here. So our destination is that bridge over there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bridge there. The path leads across here, and then we've got to cut across there to get to the bridge. The guidebook says there is waist deep bogs to contend with, so wish us luck. There wasn't a bridge, or we couldn't find the bridge, but anyway, we have to wade across this river, which luckily for us, it's not in spate and easily manageable, or so we think. We'll see you on the other side. Well, we made it. We're on the track now, walking on the Cape Raft Trail. Our campsite for tonight. By the river.
So, today we went through the rough bounds of Noidar. There's a reason why it's called that, and we've just found out today. It was the training ground for the commandos for the Second World War, and it is very, very tough ground.
So we started from our wild campsite in the forest here, climbed up to the mountain pass, then back down into this very, very boggy land here. This is where the waist deep bogs were. We're up here, rounded the bend of where the Cannock River starts, the River Cannock. We've come up here and we're currently around here. We only managed about 8 miles today, so that just shows you how tough it was, and we've been out there for about 10-12 hours from about 8:30 this morning. It's now about 6:30. I don't know, my maths is a bit bad. But yeah, tough going.